Hey y'all, welcome to the Liberation is Lit podcast where the power of storytelling meets the force of social change. I'm your host, Taylor Simon, and in this podcast, we believe in the profound impact of stories. And as you can see, we're switching things up a little bit. We are doing a live podcast recording, me and my friend Chrisso, poet extraordinaire, and we're just going to talk about slam poetry, writing poetry, and all of the awesome projects that he's got up his sleeve. So, hey, Chriselle.
Hi, how are you?
Good. So, to kick us off, tell us a little bit about Chriselle the poet.
Chrisso the poet. Well,
Yes.
to talk about Chrisso, you have to talk about the real Christopher Blackman. Born and raised Lancaster, South Carolina, Red Rose City. Raised in the church. That's where I got my knack of performing. Poetry didn't happen until I hit high school, but it was something that I guess I was kind of taught as a child, mama with them Easter speeches telling me, you better go out there, you better do that Easter speech, and it better be good. But just for a knack of just memorization and just performing has always been in my blood because my family does it all the
hmm
time.
hmm That's awesome. And I know I met you, I think, Black Nerd Mafia? No, no, no. I met you first through the poetry workshops that
Moses,
Moses, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that's
Which
crazy.
go back and look at that episode of the podcast too. But
That's
yeah, that's where I
crazy.
first met you. And I know I was going there and I was like, oh, y'all do a lot more slam than write. And I I'm a theater kid, but I don't know if I have the personality for slam.
You a theater kid.
Yes, I was a theater kid in high school and middle school.
I'm a theater kid too. You
Yeah,
definitely got
so
the personality. If you wanted to, you
see,
could.
like I shine behind the scenes.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, that's what we did with that. I was a behind the scenes.
You was opening up the curtains for people, setting up the
Yes,
lights. Okay.
yes, exactly. Getting props together. Like when Moses was like, project, project. And I'm like, okay, this might not be, I'm like the chill, I'm gonna read my poetry to you type vibes. Like,
Yeah.
I cannot remember memorize anything anymore and recite. So that's the vibe with my poetry
Yeah.
that I'm at.
You
But
probably could if you worked at it though.
yeah,
I believe in you.
practice, practice. That's the whole point. That's the
Yeah.
whole point. Maybe, and my poems aren't long, so it's harder for me to meet because for slam, don't you have to do like 2 minutes?
It's whatever you want as long as
Oh.
the message is powerful and the audience or the judges relate to it. It's whatever you want. My poems be like, because the minimum is at least 3 minutes with a 10-second grace period. So my poems usually be around 2 minutes and 50 seconds, probably less than that. But as long as the message is hidden, oh yeah.
See, and like my poems would be like 30 seconds. So that I would definitely have to work up my stamina for that. But I'm working on longer poems. But speaking of the culture around slam poetry, I know your poems tend to be a lot more positive, and that's not always what we see in slam poetry. So let's talk about that culture of slam poetry.
Well, Moses talked me into doing slam. But before that, I did not want to do slam at all. I really didn't. I really didn't. I was like, okay, everybody relates to trauma. Like, what are we doing here?
Mm-hmm.
So my goal before slam ever came into existence for me, my goal was to always be positive because a lot of people are out here hurting. A lot of people wear a lot of masks. And behind that mask, well, the mask is like a big smiling face, but behind that mask is just a big old frown. And that's where I came in. Poetry is not just poems for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's therapy for me. It's those pep talks in the mirror that
Mm-hmm.
eventually, if the spirit moves me, turn into pep rallies.
Mm-hmm.
Then it becomes a poem.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, I knew if I was experiencing something bad or something sad in my life, I had the opportunity as a speaker to flip the script on people.
Mm.
So that was my thing when it came to poetry. And then much recently. He kept taunting me to do is like, man, you out here doing your thing. You over here in Charlotte, Columbia. Man, you got the power, you got the voice of a slam poet, brother. I'm
Mhm.
like, it's not my style, bro. Like, but lo and behold, he talked me into it. And this year, 2024, did my I really got into the culture.
Mhm.
Slam Madness, which I was able to meet a plethora of slam poets.
Mhm.
That was in Greenville. Then we did Soul Fried, Southern Fried,
Mhm.
slam poetry competition in Tennessee.
Mhm.
The experience
Mhm.
was immaculate.
Mhm.
We just randomly just meeting poets from all walks of life from different states, probably around the world. It was a magical thing. Just getting together, just having poetry ciphers and everything. Oh, ooh, I love it.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's a rush.
Yeah, I can tell by how enthusiastic you are right now. So, yes. So, what is your writing process like? Because, like I said, I write short poems, and like they're just kind of bursts of intense energy. And we were just talking before hitting record that, like, I have sometimes difficulty writing positive poems. So, how do you kind of get in that headspace to really focus on the positive when a lot of slam poetry and poetry in general does dwell on like a lot of like trauma and being that kind of cathartic experience?
Mm, well, first, I got to start off with a topic. What
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to talk about. Then, once I do that, I think for me, words just come out of the air when I'm doing certain things. So, taking a shower, a hot
Mm-hmm.
shower, that's one of the ways. Because I'll be in there just like saying random words and
Mm-hmm.
trying to say them to myself so I don't forget, so I can go back and write them down. But also taking long walks,
Mm-hmm.
taking a long walk. And what I would do is, if something clicks, I got this method called jigsaws. So what I would do is I'll take a profound little stanza, like 3 lines, and I write them in the corner right here. And then I write another profound stanza right here. Write another profound stanza right there. As long as it's based on the topic, I'm just writing random stanzas. And then eventually, what I would do, I start linking them together. I start numbering them down. Like, okay, this is number one. This stanza is number two. This stanza in the corner is number three, and so forth and so forth. And then I start writing them to myself. I start saying them to myself, and then if they become, and then I start the editing process. Like, okay, this is good. This is good. This is not good. Maybe I shouldn't say that. Oh, somebody's feelings gonna be hurt. But you know what? The truth is the truth, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is a tidbit for a lot of my poems. I like the end the poem with the title of the poem, if that
Mm-hmm.
makes sense. So then once I got it tricked out, memorized and everything, then I let other people hear, small group of people hear it. And that's if I get feedback from them, say, oh yeah, that's good. Oh yeah, that's good. Oh yeah. Oh, don't do that. Don't say that. Oh, don't okay, 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 okay. Then after all of that, present it to the world. So
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty much how it is.
That's so interesting because I write similarly. Like, I'll write, well, now what I'm starting to do is instead of just leaving the poems like 4 lines, I will sit on them. And then when I am like putting together stuff, I'm like, oh, like this thing I wrote last night and this thing I wrote like 3 weeks ago, they really go together. And like putting them together to make my longer poems. So I do that kind of jigsaw thing too. And like that's how I write my books too. Like I write poems whenever, but when I feel like I have enough poems of like the same topic, then I put it together in a
Right.
book. So I call it collaging because I love collage. So just taking all the little pieces and putting them together in one.
You see,
Mhm.
I applaud you for being no, because you're very technical. See, I never done blackout poetry. I don't do that. Like I don't like to jack other people's work. That's not my ordeal. That's not my bag. If I jack other people's work, I only use it as a reference because I'm gonna reference them in a poem.
Hmm.
Some creative way I am, like a metaphor. But overall, just writing the writing process, you got to respect it.
Hmm.
You got to respect no matter how what type of style that you write in, you got to
Hmm.
respect the writing style. You got to respect the process. A lot of people want to use AI
Oh
nowadays,
no.
and I think that takes away from the authenticity of
Yes.
poem. So I'm like, am I talking to you or am I talking to a robot? Tell me, let me know. But yeah, you gotta respect it, and
Right.
it's legendary.
Right. Because the point of poetry is humanity,
Exactly.
and AI can't recreate that.
Exactly.
So, what you got coming down the pipeline? What you cooking up for us to see soon? Because we know you have a book, which you can get from liberationislit.com.
That part.
Tell us a little bit about how that book came about and then what you got coming down the pipeline.
Ooh, that book. I got tired of going doing shows, like a big plethora of shows, and not having no product.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And one day I was like, okay, so let me sit down and write a book.
Mm-hmm.
When I first started like writing, I was so scared. I didn't know how to do it because most of my stuff I had it for memorization. So to sit back there and have the patience to sit down and literally read my stuff line by line, it was like, ugh, I'm tired of this, but it was worth it. I gotta shout out these two people. The two people that helped me out in the long run was Cookie. Shout out to Cookie. She's a phenomenal poet in Charlotte. She's featured on this beautiful compilation of black called Black Charlotte, which they talk Charlotte, the black people that thrived and lived in Charlotte. So shout out to Cookie. Also shout out to Clover, South Carolina. Queen T. She helped me with the
Mm-hmm.
process too as well. She just moved to Atlanta. She's a teacher now, but they really helped me out with the process of learning how to develop a book and everything. And they gave me all the tools and resources, Grammarly and copyright.gov and all of that stuff. And then I sat down, I went line by line with my poetry. That took about a good 2 or 3 months. And then I started formulating a story with the poems. And then eventually I was like, okay, how can I stand out?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm giving you this work, but at the same time, it's like nobody reads no more.
Always get that.
So what I did was I made two different versions. I
Mm-hmm.
made one just black and white, just words on, it, but the other one has pictures.
Mm-hmm.
So because I'm good at photography too, ladies and gentlemen. So I took all the old pictures that I had that represent each
Mm-hmm.
poem, and I just put them in the book, and then yeah,
Yes. And it's beautiful. And I love just like the different art mediums of because that's what I've been thinking about doing with my own poetry is like pairing it with some of my collage work. But that's definitely how you stand out like as a multidisciplinary artist. Like, okay, I got this poetry, but you're also going to get this photography and wait till you see me perform it. So like just all of the different aspects and will we be getting a audio version of something soon?
real soon. Yes, Trial and Error, the autobiography of the Trying Poet audiobook is coming, ladies and gentlemen. Also, too, I am working with a dear friend of mine, Winter Storm. Shout out to Winter Storm. She's coming out with her project. I am the mixer, master producer on that. She is the brains behind the writing poetry operation, and together we come together like Voltron and Megazords. So yeah, I'm doing that. Still working on an art exhibit for Trial and Error too.
Hmm.
So Trial and Error is gonna that's my baby. That's the my first one. So I gotta keep progressing that one. And also I'm working on another book too as well. It's going to be a trilogy. I'll tell y'all the name since y'all keep y'all at expense. I'll let the heartbreak talk.
Oh, okay, okay. And like that's a perfect segue to be like, I'll let the book talk for itself.
Exactly.
So, ooh. So, a question I always ask all my podcast guests are, what is one piece of advice you would give listeners on making a positive impact in their community?
Ah. Keep God first in all that you do. Pray that He gives you discernment on how to
Mm-hmm.
move with great morals,
Mm-hmm.
do right by people, and do right by yourself too. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of people they go out here be people pleasers, but they don't. And they give so much of their energy, they don't keep none for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Also, to check in with the people that's doing big things in your city,
Mm-hmm.
your local library, your local gardens, especially in this economy. That
Yes.
sounds like we about to be doing that real soon.
Yes. I learned that from when the price of eggs
You
skyrocketed.
know what?
My mom used to be above yard eggs because my uncle always had chickens, and I was like, I might not be above yard eggs anymore. Uncle Cliff, can you give me some eggs?
Oh wow. You know what? I didn't think I was gonna have a green thumb until recently. I was like, everybody was eating watermelon, right?
Uh-huh.
So I didn't believe the hype that you could take a watermelon seed and it would actually grow into another watermelon.
Mm-hmm.
I did. I tried it and I was like, whoa, let me grow some more things. And then eventually it's getting ready to come winter, I'm starting my own garden.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go get some like collard greens
Collard
and
greens,
stuff.
corn, carrots.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I cannot wait. I cannot wait to form that little garden in the backyard of my mom's house.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be lovely. I cannot wait.
See, I cannot grow things from seeds, and that's like my issue. I'm trying. I'm trying.
I believe you can.
I've tried with like bell peppers. I've tried with something else I tried with, but my grandparents, they used to have a garden in their backyard before like my grandpa got older and my grandma passed, and they would come with a big basket of stuff and they would give it to our local Shoney's, and that's how we would eat for free.
Not showing.
Yes. Yeah, they'd be like, "Oh, here's some." They would give like squash and cucumbers and
You over here
like
making me hungry.
all these things, and they just give a big basket of fresh vegetables, and that's how we got to eat. And it was like also really cool to see like a chain restaurant using like actual like local farmers food and like supporting the farmers.
Yeah, you gotta support your farmers market.
Mhm.
You go out here to these stores, you don't know if these fruits and vegetables might have preservatives on them or
Mhm.
have
Pesticides.
pesticides, chemicals, and all that.
Mhm.
So get it fresh. Get your fresh fruits and vegetables because
Mhm.
well, health is wealth.
Mhm.
Health is wealth. I'm learning that now at the crisp age of 33. You got to take care of yourself, take care of your body,
Mhm.
take care of just take care overall, skin, hair, all of
Yes,
that.
and that's going back to what you were saying about like people being people pleasers and not taking care of themselves because they're taking care of other people. Like I have a family member in the hospital right now, and she was just like, "Well, what would you do if you were in the hospital right now?" And I'm like, "Oh gosh, like there's so many people I wouldn't be able to take care of, including myself." So like I'm just like, okay, that was like a wake up call, and we actually had that phone call like today, and that was a wake up call for me to be like. Yeah, I should probably like take my health a little bit more seriously because like I got a lot of people like to take care of that I love and doing Liberation is Lit stuff. So that was definitely a shake up for me. So
Yeah, and also too, but I think, which I believe you already do already. I know I do. Take some me time.
oh yes, I
Take some
do.
me time. People be over here. You helping a lot of people, and sometimes they can drain your energy.
Hmm.
Leave time for yourself, cause man,
Yeah,
woo.
I get a little people are always surprised when I say I'm an introvert, but I get a little prickly when I don't have my me time and I'm just like, "Oh, it's because I haven't spent any time in my house by myself."
Yes, I still don't think that you're an introvert, but okay.
Like I
Because
said.
I'm gonna tell, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna tell y'all, she's a beast at what she does. She is everywhere. When I say everywhere, everywhere. It's like, and I am so fascinated on how Ryan, which both of y'all are superstars, by the way. I am so intrigued on how you guys move and how you dedicate your hearts and soul to the culture. And I tell everybody this all the time. There's a renaissance literally happening in Colombia,
Mm-hmm.
full of music, art, poetry, all of that. And I love the fact that we can all come together like
Mm-hmm.
Megazords and Voltron. We can come together and perform for the
Mm-hmm.
masses, whether it's in Liberation is Lit, whether it's performing on stage doing slam poetry, whether it's just hosting, because a lot of people don't know I host events too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a beautiful thing out here, especially in Colombia. So I just want to thank you and I applaud everything that you do.
It's a spirit of collaboration over competition. I feel like competition has kept us so divided where it's all like, oh, we're competing for these small amount of money. And it's like, well, what if we pulled our talent together to
Talk,
all make this money? So,
talk about. You know what? And you know what? I have to give her her props. Ryan is teaching me that.
hmm.
She definitely is teaching me that. I was
Oh,
like,
same.
oh my goodness. When
Hmm.
I first got to Columbia, I was like, okay, this is nice. When I first got to Columbia, before I even came here, Yambik, aka Angelo Jeter, he told me to seek out the one they call Bugsy Cow.
Yes.
So,
Seriously. I didn't get Bugsy on the pod next.
oh yes. Then we did a jam session for him at the bistro off of Broadway. We did the white. It was a white party.
Oh.
I tore that stage up. Then he called me back for a feature. We did a feature. Actually, we did a feature at House of Hathor in February with Marnike Love the Poet.
Hmm.
So that was pretty cool too as well. And we just been running ever since. And of course, Tribe Slam Team. Come on now.
Yes.
Come on,
Yes.
we're number one in the state, so it's like I gotta shout that out. And they gave if it wasn't for Bugsy, and if it wasn't for Winter Storm, and if it wasn't for Moses, and also gotta shout him out, TK, I wouldn't have gone into Slam
Mm.
because
Is that the whole team?
that's pretty much the whole
Okay.
team. Yeah, that's the whole team.
Okay.
I wouldn't have gone into slam and I wouldn't have learned the structure and got my footing into it.
Hmm.
Also too, this is the part I hated about slam. Even though it was inspirational for me
Hmm.
to see a bunch of poets do their thing on stage, it created another beast in me. I was like, this is not me. I'm naked out here. Like, what are we doing? Like, like should I be this negative? But also too, it made me slam really made me center myself
Mm.
as far as different subject matter. I can talk about tragic stuff, or I can talk about positive stuff, or I can just talk about something tragic and lead in with the happy ending.
Hmm.
So it's many ways to be diverse, but also too the beast, the competitor in me. Oh my gosh, I feel some type of way at the end of a slam if I don't win a slam. I'm like, y'all took something from me, but I'm getting it back. And I think it just creates that friendly competition to just
Hmm.
keep writing, just keep pushing, like get your words right and
Hmm.
just get your performance up. So
Hmm.
it's a beautiful thing. It's a nothing but good friendly competition.
Oh my gosh. See, I don't do well in the competition. That's another thing. But it's so funny, like this whole conversation you were saying that like you had to get your footing in slam. When I like first met you at the treehouse, I was like, "Oh, you've been doing this." Like I was like, and I felt intimidated by everybody because I felt like, "Oh, everybody's been doing it." But again, I just need to get out of my head. It's all about practice and finding your footing and
But you know what? I'm gonna tell you, I'm polar opposites from you. Like when people, it's easy for people to read on on stage, read their poems and stuff.
Mhm.
I get nervous if I read on stage. Like
Mm.
from my phone, I'll be like,
Mhm.
because I'm such a theater kid, I am used to
Yeah. Yeah.
all over the place. So once I got the poem memorized, oh, I'm gone. I'm taking off. So just to sit there and just read it is just like,
Mm-hmm.
it's uber boring for me.
Mm-hmm.
For me,
Luckily, my poems aren't long, so I won't have to bore people, and I tell
you don't
like
bore
funny,
people.
funny stories in between.
Don't do that. Don't do it. You don't bore people. But I love it, and I had just to go back to my humble beginnings. The reason I tell you how I got into poetry, is that cool?
Mm-hmm.
So I got into poetry in high school. I did my first album called Emotions.
Mm-hmm.
I was singing and rapping, and my 12th grade teacher said, "Chris, you rap. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sign you up for this competition called Poetry Out Loud." I'm like, "What? I want to do this? You never know, you might like it." I'm like, "All right, fine. Here we go." So I did I Too Am America, Langston Hughes,
Mm-hmm.
and also Paul Lawrence Dunbar's We Wear the Mask That Grins and Lies. Yeah, that.
Mm-hmm.
I won the first round. I was happy about it and everything of that nature. Went to the second round in Spartanburg. Didn't work out so well.
Oh.
Lost. So I put poetry on the back burner, and I was like, I don't want to do this again. I don't want to get my heart broken, all that, because I was used to the uplifting, the claps, and everything of that nature until 2013. Yeah, 2013. My mother, she works for the city of Lancaster.
Mm-hmm.
She says, Chris, we are doing our MLK parade and our MLK ceremony. Can you write something for the ceremony? Like, Mama, I don't do poetry no more. That's not my thing. And of course, mothers.
Yes.
You better get out there.
Along with Easter speeches.
And along with the Easter speeches, yeah, you better get out there and do it. So, all right, okay, Mom, all right, here we go. So I wrote a poem based on what would Martin Luther King say or do
Mm,
if he was living in modern times. And I called it Revelation of a Dream.
mm,
And after I performed that, I got a standing ovation.
mm-hmm,
And I was like, this is life. And I've been
mm-hmm.
running ever since. And then what? Going on almost 10 years plus, I just been doing poetry. So
Mm-hmm.
it developed into just saying other people's poems, and then it went to me writing somebody's poems, and then eventually publish author.
And then I would argue it started even before reading other people's poems with your raps.
Oh yeah, most
Mm-hmm.
definitely, most
Mm-hmm.
definitely. A lot of people don't know rap and poetry is the same thing. Just one has a beat, and the other one doesn't.
Well, I mean, I would argue poetry has a beat that is implied.
Yeah, but and I make fun.
Or rhythm.
Yeah, it has a rhythm.
Hmm.
Because I kind of make fun of other poets when they do this. They do the little rhythm thing. Roses are red
Yeah.
and violets
Yes.
blue, and I'm like, what? What are we doing?
Yeah. Yeah. They're trying to match that stereotype to make them like Love Jones and
Love Jones, yeah. See me, I'm the brother of the night. And now I'm the blues in your left thigh, trying to be the funk in your right. Hey, now. No, but I because I'm such of a theater kid at heart, most of my performance and my
Mm,
antics, they come from other people that are in movies.
mm,
Samuel
mhm,
Jackson, Denzel.
mhm.
Oh, my all-time favorite. And this is Joe Morton.
Yes. Mhm.
Joe Morton. If you don't know who Joe Morton is, he played Terminator 2 Judgment Day, but he is profoundly known for Scandal, Olivia Pope's daddy. If you've seen
Mhm.
him decimate, disintegrate, and obliviate, if that's a word, a monologue,
Mhm.
amazing. And I when I get on stage, I try to embody that spirit of
Mhm.
how am I going to first tear you down, but also build you up in the process. I'm gonna
Mhm.
hit you with the okay, this is what's going on.
Mhm.
This is what we need to do to fix it. And I hope this is thought provoking for you when I finish.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I do it.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you, Chrisso, for telling us about your poetry story and your style and what makes you stand out in the slam scene and your books. And where can people keep up with you to see where you're hosting and when these projects are coming out?
Ooh, got to put the hat on for this one. You can find me. I gotta get it re-uploaded, but Chrisso, Chrissso underscore live poetry. That is on my TikTok and my Instagram. And on my Facebook, it is Christopher Blackman. Also, my website. I keep forgetting I got a website.
Oh, okay.
I gotta get that revitalized too. Chrisso1.com. Again, that is Chrisso1.com. You will see all of my latest projects, all the things that I am doing in and out of community and surrounding areas. Also, ladies and gentlemen, I am a rapper. Yeah. I'm a rapper, I'm a producer, and I'm a host too as well. I mostly shout out to Rhythms Lounge Bar and Grill. We just had our first neo soul music poetry night, which was a complete success. Yes. So I host, I do produce, and I mix and master too. So if y'all wanna hit me up for any projects in the future, just let me know, and I'll slide me a DM and I come through.
And I'll link all those places in the show notes and the description and all of those good things. And thank you, listeners, for being a part of the Liberation is Lit podcast. If you have stories you want to share or just want to suggest any topics, you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Liberation is Lit, or visit our website liberationislit.com. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider leaving a review. Remember, your voice matters, and together, through the lens of stories, we're going to make a difference in the world. Until next time.